Hi. Okay, card number 2 for August for the club cards. This one uses the Accented Blooms bundle, but you don't have to buy the tailored tag punch. Because of this, you can cut out by hand quite easily. So this is the stamp set, and actually this is not in a bundle because this punch was from the masculine tailored bundle that was in the occasions catalog that ended in June. So it's a tailored tag punch. And this is stamp set coordinates with it. It has a couple of images and then there's the hole to go in there. Now the cool thing is that this stamp is the floral stamp and they cut out this image here, or the middle of that triangular thing, so you don't get ink on it when you're stamping it. But it also, you can use it as well as just a flat thing, or you can ink it up, use a stamp to stamp on it, and then stamp, and you'll get like a solid with some lined images. One day we'll have to do that technique so you know what the heck I'm talking about. Anyways, we're going to use this stamp set and the tailored tag punch and some of the new glitter dots as soon as I can find them. Okay, so here's the new ones. We still have glitter dots. They're still nice and glittery. They're just in really cool colors now instead of the pastel-y ones that we had last time. So we're going to use that. Okay, so I'll show it to you in the catalog. The stamp index at the back, and I'm looking for Accented Blooms, and it's on page 19. So there it is, page 19. There's the stamp set we're using. And then it says coordinates with a tailored tag punch on page 211. So if you go to page 211, there's the tailored tag punch, and it's $24. Okay, well, let's get creating here. I feel better after having that first card under my belt. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use the usual thick Whisper White card base and plain Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. There's 2 pieces, one for the inside, one for the outside, and they're the same size, so it doesn't matter. Then there's a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that's what you're going to stamp the floral image on. And then 2 3/4 by 2, and that's for the sentiment in the middle. So not too many pieces. This card uses the new tufted dynamic embossing folder, and it has the line like I was telling you about in the first video. So you just line it up straight on the line. And then I kind of pay attention to where the edges are too, because that way I can make it even. Okay, I need to hold that down because I didn't get my Big Shot ready yet. So this is dynamic, so you use the Big Shot platform. If you've got the one with the flaps in it, that has the flaps, then you're going to want both flaps open. No, one flap open and one closed. And then the embossing folder goes on top of here, and then just one cutting plate. Because the embossing folder is so thick, you don't need 2 cutting plates on it. And then I'm going to roll it through my Big Shot. And there it is. Look at how pretty that is. It's just, you just want to touch it because it's got so much texture. Okay, put that over there. And while I'm at it, I'll just put it on to my card base. And we'll line it up, make it straight, relatively easy. And then just don't push too hard on your embossed image to get the tape to stick, because then you'll be pushing down the embossing part. Okay, So that's that done. Next step is to stamp our floral image in Memento ink because I'm going to be using the blends to color it. Put the lid on it because with my luck it would just jump right out. Okay, and then just going to kind of center this on here and stamp it. And this is Memento ink. This is the one you want to use with your Stampin' Blends. There's also been a lot of controversy lately about watercoloring with photopolymer stamps and not being able to use StazOn ink on them because of the chemical reaction and how it destroys your stamps. So a lot of people have said what I've been doing for a number of years now is take your Memento and use it, but let it dry completely by leaving it sit there, or you can heat set it, and then you don't have to worry about it because it washes off with water, but it will work doing watercoloring. Okay, so this is the blends. I'm using the Light and the Dark Pool Party. So I'm doing some select coloring. Now I chose not to color all of the floral images, just part of them. But of course you'll be able to choose whatever you want to do. And I'm not filling it all in. I like to leave a little bit of white when I'm not blending. And this is just around the center. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this or not. Well, just a quick job. You don't have to be too precise. This is a really light color, so you can't see a lot of it anyways. But just make sure that you get all of the petals, because they are all over the place. And then the center here, and I'm going to color right over the center on this one. Okay, and then just around. I love how Stampin' Up! Puts the lines on there for you, so you know exactly where you have to color. And a couple of quick deeks out on these little ones. Of course, you can be coloring all of yours if you want. I just chose not to because I like lots of white on my cards, as you can tell by the cards that we're doing this time. So that's the light pool party. Now I'm going to go in with the dark pool party and do the centers of the flowers. And I'm not going to be blending them, I just want to use them straight. There we are. So that was dark pool party. Now I'm going to do a little bit of blending on the leaves. First of all, my preference is to do the light. And you don't want to do too many of them, because then the ink will dry and you won't have time to do the blending. It will reactivate, but you have to use more ink. So there's the light one. Let's go back in here with a little bit of dark. And take my light and go over top of it again. And that's just going to blend the dark in there. I love coloring with these. Sometimes I get a little carried away and I go too fast, and then I end up with color outside the lines, which totally annoys me. But that's just the way life is. I have to get over it, because not all my cards are perfect. That was the light. Go in with a bit of dark. And go back with the light. And shade it all together. That's going to go over this one again too. So it's real quick and easy to blend these things. Now, there is the stems, and if you're really good and you're really steady, you can do the stem with this end. But I'm not, so I'm not. I'm just going to get the old olive, see if the thin end is going to work today. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. There. That's better. Okay. So that's all done now. Good old Wink Estella. Because I didn't do Wink Estella on the other one, but I think I'd like to have the centers of the flowers a little bit blingy. I'll just put a bit of Winky on there. There we go. And where did I put my dimensionals? There they are. I like to have lots of dimensionals on my projects so that they don't collapse. Because it's happened before. Okay, so that one is that way. I can put this one this way. Like that. So let's do that. Okay. Get the backing off. If I was smart, I'd have a little container or something to put on my table to put all of these lovely dimensional backings on, but I don't. Okay, so we'll stick that right there, like that. Now, if you wanted, I could have wrapped a ribbon around there and put a pretty bow there. That would have been really cool, but I didn't. Okay, so that one's thank you. I think I'll use hello for this one. Just going to get the markers and put them in the basket. We're going to use Pool Party, which was the same color as the markers that I used. And this is a really solid stamp, so don't be in a hurry to get ink onto it. And check it before you stamp, just to make sure you have some good ink coverage there. And don't push too hard, because you will fill in the hello part. Now, this is where I pray that it actually worked and I don't have to find more cardstock. Okay, that's good. Now it's going to look kind of funny when you first do it, because this is the old ink configuration and it still has the bubbles in it, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to punch it out with the punch, and remember, the longer you take to line your punched image up, the better it's going to be. So there we are. Punch that out. And I'm also going to put this up on dimensionals. You don't have to. You can do this just by itself just flat if you want. I kind of like it up in the air. And I'll have the hello and the thank you on there. Or in class, so you can do whichever you want. Now comes the hard part. Because if I do it this way, I'm not going to be able to line it up properly. So you'll just have to either put up with my head or I'll move it forward. There we go. So that card's done. Put that in there. I need the dots. You can use any of these dots you like. And if you want this to be a different color, like if you don't want to do pool party, if you wanted to do, what color are those? It looks like lovely lipstick and grape, gorgeous grape. You could do either one. Lovely lipstick, we have the marker. The gorgeous grape, we don't. But we have Highland Heather. So you could do Highland Heather and then use these ones. I should have thought of that. Oh, because we could have done a different color. Oh well. I'm going to use the pink ones, I think, this time. I think they're lovely lipstick. And I used one of each size. So I'm just going to loosen it, pick it up with my tool. Of course, now it's stuck on my scissors and my finger, because these are really sticky. Okay, doesn't want to let go of my finger. That's the little one. Oh, there's 4 sizes. So there you go. There we are. 1, 2, 3. How pretty are those? Okay, they're in the basket. Now to do the inside of the envelope. So here's the inside. And I have the marker, so we'll do the marker part. And there's the envelope. This is another stamp. That's in this set. It's this one, but you could use either ones. Maybe I'll switch it out. We'll use that one instead. Just 'cause I can. And I'll put that one on a block and it will be available so you can use what you want. I'm just going to move that out of the way so I don't stamp on it, and remember that my card is sideways, not up and down anymore. And just doing a few of these climbing up the side. And then on the envelope. There we are. That's done. Get the marker so I can do the inside one. Put some color around the edge. You can sponge these too if you want. Sponging is not my favorite thing to do. I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm so linear and OCD. Sometimes I think it's messy. But that's only my opinion, and you guys can definitely sponge if you want. That's what I'll do. Let me make a note while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to keep some sponges on the table. There. Then they'll be there when you want to use them. And you don't have to ask. I ask if you do it in a specific color. Let me know so I can take it out of the container and wash it, so we don't get cross-contamination. Okay, and I'll just stick my name on the back. Because if I do it now, I don't have to do it later. There we are. Card number 2 done. So there's the hot dog versus the hamburger, and I kind of like how those bring out the pink. Now, I'm wondering, let me do an experiment here on camera. Just want to get a piece of white cardstock. Piece of Whisper White and one of my piercing mats. Let's see if we can get that image a little bit more solid. As you see how it's kind of stippled, I'm going to see if I can get it not stippled by using the mat underneath it. Do some good inking. Let it down and rub it. Get in good contact. Oh, it's still stippled. Okay, so now, just hang on a sec. Maybe it needs re-inking. Making sure I have the right color. Maybe it needs re-inking. This is my other Pool Party one. Oh, and it's got lots of ink in it. Huh. Uh-huh. So I'll put a little bit more ink on that one because you get a better image when there's more ink. I missed a spot there, but let's try inking it up this way. Let's see what happens. It's going to be so nice when I get all my new refills and we don't have this bubble issue anymore. With all the new colors, the new ink pads come with the new formula with the anti-foam in it. Look at that. Look at that. Like it. Okay. Then see that it's turning into a little bit more full rather than having those stipple things. So I'll put this one in there instead of the other one, and I'll re-ink the other one, and I'll put this in the basket too in case you want to use it. Now, another product I'm really excited about having is the Simply Chamois, because I don't have to get up from my craft table to wash my stamps anymore. I know, how lazy is that, eh? That's all you do, is just rub it a bit to get it from inside the cracks, and you're done. And it's going to stain, because we didn't use that one. That's what it's meant to do, is take the ink off. So if you've got a big stamp like that and you need it to make sure it's nice and clean, you can pick this up. Just be careful, because if you haven't cleaned it in a while, all of that ink is going to transfer onto your fingers. So when I opened this, it had a line down the side of it that was hard as a rock. But all you have to do is just soak it in some water in it, and it goes soft and flexible again. So there's card number 2. the hot dog and the hamburger version. You can do whichever one you like. So, thanks for joining me, and I have one more video to do today, and then I can get on to doing some cards for inspiration. Thanks, ladies. Bye.